Turning now to weather, a lot to discuss here. Paul is with us to talk about it all. A massive avalanche in Tahoe came crashing down onto a three-story apartment building in Olympic Valley.
Yeah, you can see what's left behind. It buried the bottom 2 stories of that building around 7 o'clock last night. The people who live there all had to be evacuated. Reporter Andrew Haubner has the details.
All right, avalanche started there, came all the way down.
Randy Rogers didn't hear it coming.
It was snowing a lot, so it kind of muffles a lot of things, gets kind of quiet.
Until he saw sirens.
I walked out there to see what was going on, and then I could see that we had a big avalanche. Blew out a bunch of windows.
Buried under feet of snow were the other 2 floors of this complex.
Crazy.
A massive slide that hit around 7 p.m. last night.
Condo complex has about 70 units. We identified 4 units that needed to be evacuated.
County inspectors are assessing structural damage today. Randy says the timing of the avalanche may have saved lives.
In the daytime, we do get a lot of people walking back there with dogs or just like snowshoeing that area. So, and that condo complex doesn't have a lot of people living there in the winter.
With no injuries or deaths, the Placer County Sheriff says this was the best outcome.
This was a huge win for us and for all the residents in the affected area of Olympic Valley.
But evacuations still had to come.
There were about 100 other residences in that area that were also affected by this avalanche.
And Randy wasn't taking any chances.
We couldn't even get out of our own driveway, so we just got our backpacks, grabbed the kids and the wife and the dog, and walked back to the village.
As first responders worry about what another storm system could bring.
People who are traveling from out of the area, we really discourage travel to these backcountry areas.
And it's not just Tahoe. A rare avalanche on Sunday was spotted in Southern California above Coachella Valley.
I have never seen anything like this. There were 2 people going down the 10 freeway. We can say the 10 freeway because it is Southern California,
right.
Not I-10, but the 10. And they caught this video of the snow coming down the mountain there. Thankfully, nobody was on the mountain at the time. You know, we do not talk about avalanches very much at all here in California. And for a lot of us that aren't used to it, don't normally see it, it's kind of hard to imagine just how heavy snow can be. So break that all down for us.
It's something we talk about in the Sierra quite a bit, and depends on how that snow adds up. So it's something we're going to talk about in more detail, kind of including the physics of how the snow adds up, because not all snow systems are created exactly equal. It really depends on the temperature as the snow is falling. So 1 inch of water can add up to varying amounts of snow depending on the air temperature. If the air temperature is just above freezing, it is still possible for snow to add up even when the temperature is slightly above freezing. That 1 inch of water is going to add up to about 5 inches of snow. Temperature just a couple degrees below freezing. Not much of a difference. You get twice as much snow. There's more gaps in between the individual snowflakes because the snow crystals grow in a different way. It allows more air to get trapped in between, and as the temperature drops, those crystals grow in even a different way, and you get even fluffier snow. More air trapped, so that 1 inch of water now adds up to about 20 inches of snow when the temperature drops down into the upper teens. And they've seen all of these types of snow in the high Sierra recently, and it really depends on elevation. The closer you are to that rain-snow line, the more moisture that snow is going to contain, which makes it heavier in terms of just the force exerted by the weight of snow on top of a roof. We're talking about 4 pounds per square foot for fluffy snow, but 3 times that much for wet snow. So you add up 1 foot of snow over a 1,500 square foot roof, and you're talking about the weight of wet snow equivalent to 3 full-size pickups. But they've picked up much more than that in the high Sierra over the past several days. The Sierra Snow Lab has picked up almost 12 feet of snow just in the last week or so, just adding up 24 inches of snow. 2 feet, you're talking about the equivalent of 6 full-size pickups when it's wet snow. But you're starting to get close to the threshold of ordinary rooftops, 20 pounds per square foot, when you're just adding up 2 feet of snow. Now think 4 or 5 feet of snow, like they have added up through so much of the Sierra over the past several days. This is going to be a concern. And then just add on top of that the force that comes along with an avalanche when that snow is actually moving, just compounding the threat.
I mean, it just really puts things into perspective when you hear about roofs caving in, which is always tragic and awful, but that really sort of explains why.